What is going on, shrimp keepers? Kang Lee is the first one in the house. Shout out to Kang Lee. Good to have you here, brother. Always good to see you around. But we don't have too much to cover today, but there's a lot going on. Look at Jimmy of Aquarium Co-op. What's going on, Jimmy? Fanatics Aquatics. A lot of people tuning in now. But how's everybody doing today? It is Sunday, which is a great day. And the reason Sunday is such a great day is because there's so many good shows on. We have Game of Thrones coming up tonight. Can't wait for that. April Shaw in the house, Aquatic Jack, a lot of good people here. Shout out to you guys. Yes, we are live. Nisi's in the house. What's going on, Nisi? Just a quick shout out to Nisi. Nisi is thebomb.com. She is like the #1 moderator, biggest fan ever. She's always here. And she's always messaging me like, hey, are you going live? Like, what time are you going live? And everything like that. So it's always good to see Nisi in the house. Aquatic Jack, Fanatics, Reese Cooper. What's going on, Reese? Glenn's in the house. So a lot of good people here today. So today I just want to talk about basically just aquarium shrimp, pet shrimp, freshwater shrimp, nano shrimp, whatever you want to call them, little shrimp that I've come to love. And that's why this whole YouTube channel started. It actually started because of plants, believe that or not. I need to go back and watch my beginning videos because it's been a while. But yeah, I started in this hobby originally with balloon mollies, and then I went to mollies, and then I went to like just random types of fish, and then had fun with it, got my mom involved. Here I am, like 4 years later from starting this hobby. And it's been such a fun ride. It's actually probably been longer than that, probably 4 or 5 years. I don't really know. It's been a long time though. I did see my boy in the house. Where's he at? Tamed Waters. Shout out to Tamed Waters. Everybody else. So lot of cool stuff going on. Talk about the tanks behind you. What substrate and so on. So the tanks behind me, right here we got. It was like some kind of rare Caridina tank. Killed all those, unfortunately. I didn't take good enough care of them, to be honest, and the water level kept going up and down, and it just too much instability, or whatever the right word would be. My wife's probably laughing at me right now. This is a Taiwan B tank. This is actually Amanda's Taiwan B tank. Tons and tons of babies in there. If I could, I would take the camera and show you guys, but this tank is awesome. It's got Brightwell soil in there. It's got the big grain and the little grain. There's a Crypt Flamingo, I think it's right here. This is Crypt Hobbit. This is Crypt Chordata, I believe. And then that's Sturgeon Repens. And then there's a nice piece of driftwood in like right there. And then this tank, right there. Oh, my brother's calling me. Let me answer my brother real quick. Hey, Keith, I'm live streaming right now. Okay, you're going to be here in a little bit? Okay, see you in an hour. Love you too. Bye. That was my big brother. He's we were watching his dog this weekend, which was totally off topic, but it was crazy. Like we have that big pond in the living room, and there's goldfish in there, and his dog like staring in there and like tried to hit the fish with her paw. And like the first day, she made such a mess because we weren't paying attention, and there was water all through the house. So it was crazy, but. We put a stop to it, so thank God for that. But yeah, so this tank over here is the Aurora Blue tank. Honestly, I don't think there's shrimp left in there. They just were sick when we put them in there. They were from like a long time ago, and they were dying in the tank they were originally in, so we moved them here hoping that they would stabilize, and they didn't. They did have babies at some point, and then the babies were doing pretty good. And I think the temperature swing got them originally. And before we put the AC up here and the heater up here. So there's a lot of learning curves. But that has tons of Anubias in it. It has Anubias Pinto, which is a really cool variation. And so, yeah, so cool. And then right here, we got the little crystal red figurines, which we just did a video on crystal reds. I'm going to read through all the comments here in a little bit. But if you guys watched the video we did today on, well, actually we did it last night, but it posted today. On how to breed crystal red and black shrimp. It was so fun because I tried, like, my wife's been watching so much Nat Geo Wild, where like it's documentaries and somebody is like voicing over the video. And so I was like, I think that'd be fun to do. So that's exactly what I did. And I purposely like paused certain points just to make it feel like it's a documentary. So you guys got to let me know what you think about that, because it was a lot of fun. I'm going to read the first question. The Gregory Blank said, dude, I got a question. What about inbreeding? Does shrimp health go down with generation? It definitely goes down, but it's definitely not a big factor in breeding shrimp. Shrimp can breed from generation to generation to generation. And if anything, they're going to get better characteristics and better qualities. And that's like the highest grade shrimp out there in regards to purity, like pure red line, pure black line, things like that. They're the ones that have the most inbred shrimp because breeders have done so much to get them to a certain color. Nowadays, they mix a lot of different qualities of shrimp, and the higher end shrimp are the ones with patterns. And those usually have good genetics just because they're mixed with so many different things. So great question, but inbreeding really shouldn't be an issue with shrimp. Can I use dechlorinated tap water for crystal reds? B's Aquatics asked that. B, I would suggest going and watching our recent video about how to breed crystal reds, and we go into the parameters. So as long as your parameters fit inside the ones we said, or at least close to, then dechlorinated tap water will work just fine. The biggest thing is your GH and your cage. If your GH is between, I think it's 6 and 9, and your cage is between 0 and 2, you're going to be pretty good. Tropical Aquariums, hello from New Zealand. Shout out to New Zealand. We got Brazil in the house. What's going on, Brazil? That's crazy. Fanatics Aquatics says, today ordered Crystal Black starter pack and was wondering when they would be shipped. I also got a second space in the contest along with my Red Fancy Tiger entry. That is awesome, Fanatics. Thank you so much for the orders. So let's answer the first thing first. It probably will be shipped tomorrow, to be honest. If not, it'll be shipped next week, just depending on how much we get done tomorrow. I know we have a lot of orders going out, but we should be able to get it out tomorrow. And now that you brought up a good point, we did the Crystal Red video, and so we are having a special on Crystal Reds and Crystal Blacks. And we also launched a Crystal Red and Crystal Black starter pack, which basically comes with food. It comes with leaves, a shrimp net, and then 10 of the shrimp. And it's decently priced, but we are doing a discount because it was in celebration of bringing back Shrimp Saturday. And we're going to try to do some kind of discount every single week of a certain type of shrimp or some kind of product. But the discount code is, I think it's Crystal with a capital C 20, and it's for 20% off. And that goes for the Crystal Red starter pack and the Crystal Black starter pack, and then the single packs, like 5 Crystal Reds and 5 Crystal Blacks. And so feel free to use that, guys, if you're looking to get in crystal shrimp. And we can talk more about that as the live stream progresses. Jordan Leroy said, how did everyone get into the hobby? So I can answer how I got into the hobby, which is kind of a crazy story. So I started dating this girl when I was like, I want to say I was a freshman in college, maybe a sophomore in college. And the first time I went to her house, you walk in and like you see right down the basement steps as soon as you walk in. And the first thing I see is this huge fish tank at the bottom of the steps. I'm like, can we go see that? Like, that thing is so cool. Like, at this point, like, I had a fish tank when I was little, but I never really had, like, a fish tank of my own. Like, it had, like, feeder goldfish in it when I was a kid. But it's been, like, a long time since I had fished. And so I was like, I want to go see this thing. So she takes me downstairs, and it turned out to be a 45-gallon tank, which isn't big. But to me, it was, like, mammoth. Like, I'd never seen a fish tank that big up to this point. And so I'm looking at this thing, and there's, like, barely any fish in it, like, you know, very minimal decorations. And I'm like, this is so cool. And so as we started talking and dating, I convinced her to, like, hey, let's go to PetSmart and buy some fish for this fish tank. And it was her dad's fish tank, and he was completely fine with it because really no one paid attention to the fish tank except for him. So now there was attention to the fish tank. And so we actually went to PetSmart, I want to say once every 2 weeks. We were getting the water tested like constantly. And so we were actually going more than once every 2 weeks. We'd only go once every 2 weeks to buy fish because I had a problem. And so I was constantly buying these balloon mollies because they were fat and ugly and cute. And it was just a lot of fun. And so then they started breeding, and it just turned into this huge thing. I ended up talking her dad into getting a 125-gallon tank. And her dad gave me the 45-gallon tank because he's like, you know, you're so into this. You have this. I'm going to have the 125. And so I took it home and set it up, and that was the end of it. I got a 55 on the side of the road that somebody was giving away. I got a 10-gallon tank. Actually, I don't think they were giving it away. I think I paid $10 for it. I got a 10-gallon tank that used to be my old goldfish tank. I bought a 75-gallon tank. Actually, I got that from my neighbor. I bought a 125. Like, it just like expanded and kept expanding from there. So that's how I got into the hobby, and it was like a total blast. I love it, and I'm so glad I got into it, and I'm so glad I got here. Another cool story is how I started YouTube, and so this is really cool. So King Lee asked real quick, does the code work for PRL? It does not work for PRL. Sorry about that, King Lee. And now that I think about it, I still owe you some shrimp, so we got to talk about that too. I'll get a hold of you about that, King Lee. Yeah, Crystal 20 is the code found in the description. It is down below, so check that out. But this is so cool how I got into YouTube. So I was scrolling through, like, when I first got into the hobby, I wanted so much information. I wanted to know how to do this, how to do that, what the best way to do this is. And so I was looking on YouTube and finding videos of how to do things and how to ship fish. And so I ended up looking up how to ship plants. And it was this young kid showing me, is like doing a YouTube video how to do it, and it just blew me away. And it turned out that the YouTube name was GM Love 9, and he still has a channel, but he doesn't really do uploads anymore. He turned out to be a really good friend, and we're still friends on Facebook. We message every once in a while to see how each other are doing. But he was making videos. I think at the time he had like 1,000 YouTube subscribers, which like back then was like, oh, like he had a ton. So I was all jacked up about that. And so I was like, man, like I started watching his videos and digesting it and like waiting for the next upload, like total fan. And so I was watching everything, like as much as I could. And so I remember commenting on one of his videos, and he responded back to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this guy like wrote back to me. I thought it was like the biggest deal ever. And so from there, like I was just like, man, I want to do this YouTube thing too. I entered into his contest, and like it just kind of took off from there. So if you go back and watch like my beginning videos, one of them is like contest entry for GM Love 9, and it was just so cool. And so it's fun to like remember back to those times, because like the longer you're in this hobby and the longer you make YouTube videos, like you start losing the hobby, or you start losing your roots and where you came from, and you forget like all these places you've been. And it's fun to go back there and reminisce, and even go back and watch like the old videos. And so I just love it. So I've been hooked ever since, and it's been just a blast, like an absolute blast. So yeah, so cool. I'll go through and start answering some questions. Dwayne Kitchell said, I was talking about how we did the Crystal Red, and I did it like a Nat Geo Wild documentary. I tried to, like some parts I really didn't do good about it, but I had fun with it, and that's what's important. And so I did it because Amanda's been watching so much Nat Geo Wild lately. And so Dwayne said, yes, you could tell the voice change, Robert. It was sort of nice. That's cool. And Amanda picked out the music. And I originally picked out like elevator music. And she's like, oh, heck no. Like, this is not going to work. And so I listened to her. I changed the music. So hopefully you guys like that too. But thank you, Dwayne, for the feedback. Nisi had to go. See you in a little bit, Nisi. James Parker said, hey, Flip, my colony of red cherry shrimp are doing great, but I'm thinking of adding mineral balls. What do you think of these items? I've not used them before. So first of all, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If your colony is doing good, leave it. With that being said, mineral balls, I've never seen them hurt an aquarium, but I've also never seen them help an aquarium. So give and take. You know, do you want to add them? Then add them. That's fine. But if you don't really have the money, don't waste the money on something that I haven't seen specifically work. That's my feedback on that. Neon Tetra said, it was a great voiceover, Rob. That's great to hear. So definitely check that out if you guys haven't seen already. I just kind of did the basics for keeping crystal red shrimp and crystal black shrimp. And I had a lot of fun doing it, and that's the most important part. And Amanda did some great videos, so shout out to her. Let's see. Danny said, what happened with the Taiwan bees on this import order? I got an email from Jeff about my order, something about the way they did in shipping. Yeah, so the Taiwan bees, and like, guys, I will always be transparent with you. Like, there's no point in me trying to hide anything or be discreet about anything. Like, I will always be completely transparent. And so this past order, we had a hard time with Taiwan bees. And I don't know if it was with shipping, the heat, or something like that. Like, that's what I'm leaning towards, heat. But we're doing like 4 tests right now on different types of shrimp and ways that we ship them, and trying to figure out if we did something wrong, if something was wrong in their tanks, if something just we're trying to figure it out. We don't know if there was cross-contamination when we were doing shipping or something, but the Taiwan bees that we had did terrible in shipping, like terrible. And so we ended up having to send more shrimp out to everyone we send shrimp to, just to get them more shrimp. And then we sent out an email, like everyone that was kind of shorted on shrimp, we told them we'd make it up to them in this next import order. We're actually going to get them some pintos, which we thought was like a special treat for them having to go through so much chaos. And so we always try to go above and beyond. And anyone that's ever ordered from us would know that we really try to make it be the best experience possible. Because when you ship livestock, when you ship shrimp or fish or anything or plants, you're always going to have issues arise. There's always going to be that one thing that goes wrong. And maybe you have, a bag of dead cherry shrimp, a bag of dead blacks, whatever it is. It's all about coming up with a solution, taking the customer at their word for it, doing everything you can to make it right. And that's the way we do it, because at the end of the day, we're all people. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And dealing with live animals, there are bound to be some things that go wrong. So, so far, so good. We're so happy. I have the best customers ever. You guys are awesome. And this is just a good relationship that we've built together, and a great community that we built together. And do you guys know the shrimp hobby has grown so much in the past 3 years? And the reason for it is right here. We are growing this hobby so much, and it's so good. And there's so many people that are big influencers in this, like people like Roma Aquatics, like just the little guy that's like making a YouTube channel and spreading the love for the hobby. People like Mark Shrimp Tanks that are showing their love. Lucas Brett's, like all of these people, this community that has formed, the Facebook groups, everything. It's just awesome. And the shrimp hobby is growing. It's getting bigger. It's awesome. And I love it. And I've seen so many changes happen because of it. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, Danny, that was a long-winded answer for your question. But the Taiwan bees, in short, did not do so well until we are making it completely right to anyone that ordered them. King Lee again asked, do the PRL work? For the discount code, they do not. It is just crystal reds and just crystal blacks, and then the starter packs. Is the beard a requirement to have shrimp? So the beard, which this one's getting, like I'm looking at it in the screen right now, it's getting a little frizzy. It's kind of getting big. I don't know if I'm going to grow it out to be like a full Santa beard, but I'm trying to set the standard for shrimp keepers. But no, it is not a must. If you are a female in this hobby, you definitely don't have to have a beard. But if you are a man, a beard definitely helps with your ability to breed and keep shrimp. So it's not a requirement, but it definitely helps. Manuel said, how many red cherry shrimp would you recommend for a 10-gallon? The easiest way to recommend is two shrimp per gallon. I think I always go back and forth because we stock 10 shrimp per gallon, which is just because when we import, that's how many we can fit in there. We have a certain method for doing water changes and feeding that seems to work pretty well. And so we do 10 shrimp per gallon. So it's hard for me to always remember the right thing. But 2 shrimp per gallon is the maximum that I would go. Yeah, probably 2 shrimp per gallon is the max I would go. 1 shrimp per gallon is pretty good because they're going to breed and you're going to have tons of babies. Jay said, how many cherry shrimp would you suggest to start with for a Fluval Edge 6-gallon? So 6 times 2, 12 shrimp. I would give that a try and just see how it goes. All stories start with a girl. Yeah, most stories do start with a girl, Aquatic Jack, referring back to how I got into the hobby. Manuel Guzman says, how well cherry shrimp does in a dirt subsoil. I would imagine cherry shrimp do just fine because all shrimp in the wild come from streams that have dirt as their substrate. So odds are they're going to do just fine. Let's see. Oops, scroll down to the bottom. Let me scroll back up. All right. Trying to find a good question. Tara Rosa 8181 said, have you heard of freshwater neon blue gobies? I hear they are shrimp safe and I'm thinking about getting a male or two for my neos. Let me look them up and see if I've ever seen them before. I have an idea of what you're talking about, but I always want to make sure. Okay, so I have seen those before. Honestly, they don't look like they would be shrimp safe. But again, I don't know for sure. So what I always suggest, if you want to try a fish to see if they're shrimp safe, maybe take the fish and put it in a separate container with one shrimp and see how the interaction goes. And if that shrimp disappears by the next morning, it's a bad idea. Or try it with ghost shrimp. It's always better if the shrimp are in the tank first and then you add the goby, in my experience. But I would say any fish that can fit a shrimp in its mouth is probably going to eat it. That would be my assumption. And so let's see. Questions. Hear all about it. Jordan Leroy. It was my dad that got me into the hobby. Always had tanks in the house. He was big into the hobby. He always jokes that it took 20 years for me to get into the hobby. Yeah. So that's cool. Your dad was always in the hobby. He always had tanks. It's always harder to get the second generation involved because they're around it. It isn't like they find the passion on their own. Usually, yeah, you're right. Usually that happens later in life. And so, yeah. Tara said, I liked it. Did you? I don't know. I don't know what that is. What are you going to go with, Priscilla? Priscilla's doing something. Oh, Priscilla. Priscilla's going to try shrimp soon. If you guys don't know Priscilla, she's huge in the fish fam. One of the center council, I guess you'd call them. She's one of the really active people in the fish fam and the shrimp fam. And so Priscilla's going to do some shrimp, so that'll be really cool. River Life said, you have inspired others to get started. That's the cool thing is a lot of people do message us and say hey, you're the reason we got into shrimp, or this is our first order. We're trying shrimp because of your videos. And I just know that it's a hobby that I fell in love with. So it's always good when you can get other people to fall in love with it as well. Jordan said, you got me into shrimp. So that's a good thing. We got DET Aquariums in the house. What's going on, DET? That's Daryl. So Daryl said, hey, Rob, just wanted to drop in and say, hey, Daryl, always good to see you. King Lee said, Royal Blue Tigers soon. King Lee, you're not supposed to tell people. But yes, Royal Blue Tigers soon. This is some super amazing customer care. Yeah, we always try to be good with our customer care. But you guys already heard me rant about that, so I won't go over it again. But yeah, shrimp Sundays. Yeah, so is Eason Collad? I don't know. That's a tough one to say. Said, hey, Flip Aquatics shrimp Sunday. So yeah, I know I posted the shrimp Saturday video a little late, but I figured that the video would do better if I posted in the morning opposed to posting at 3 o'clock at night. And I think I'm right by that. And I knew that you guys wouldn't care too much, but I always do my best. And so again, if you guys haven't watched that video, go check it out because I did something a little different. I did the Nat Geo Wild special where I did the documentary style and had a ton of fun doing it. And so if you guys are at all interested in crystal shrimp or learning a little bit more about them, definitely go check that out. And the good thing about crystal shrimp is it's a good transition shrimp. It's one of those ones that when you're going from Neocaridina, which is your cherry shrimp, and you don't want to go straight to Taiwan bees, which are the really hard buffered water shrimp, you can go to crystals. Whoopsie. I dropped my table, or my table fell over. It's because I had a lot of stuff on it. So let me show you what I had on it before I'm distracted. So check this thing out. You guys know what this is? This is a minnow catcher. So you put food inside of this. And this is like a super antique one. We got it thrift store shopping. Oh, yeah, to all the thrift store lovers out there. We got this antique fish minnow trap thingamajig from an antique store. And I want to say they wanted $15 for it. And I'm like, oh, like, I don't really want to spend that much. And so I'm like, whatever, like, I'm going to buy it. And so I bought it, and I remember them slapping hands, like the two people that owned it on the way out. So they must have paid like pennies for this. And they must not put any value on it. So I got it. And I thought it'd be cool to like go to Amanda's Creek in her backyard and catch minnows and stuff in this, which would be really cool. Because you like unscrew this top, you put food inside, you catch the fish. Awesome. Like absolutely awesome. And then I looked it up on Amazon and eBay when I got home. And this same thing was selling for like $150 online. So I'm like, I did pretty darn good. But because it was worth so much, then I was like, man, I don't really want to use it because like now I'm going to like put it on my coffee table and like now I can talk about it. And so I did want to show this because I really want to go catch minnows with this. And so going along with that is, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Gainer Mountain is going out of business. And if you guys don't know what Gainer Mountain is, it's like a Bass Pro Shop or something like that. So Amanda's like addicted to fishing. And so we went there for her so that she could get some lures and stuff to go fishing. And I was in there and I fell in love with this thing. This is a crayfish trap. So like, look, if you can see, the crayfish crawl up here, they crawl up, they go under this thing, they eat the food that's like under here, and then they can't find their way out. So you put this in the river and then you catch crayfish. So I think I'm going to do a video, or at least I want to do a video. I'm going to take this and that one to Amanda's River and see what we can catch. And I think it would be like, mainly it's going to be a fun thing for me, but I think it's something that you guys would enjoy being along for too. And so that's why I got this. And I'm going to look for more of these traps. I think they're freaking cool. And it's just something fun. Like, again, this hobby is all about having fun. And if you can't have fun, you shouldn't be doing it. And sometimes it almost turns into more work than it is fun. And that's not good for anyone. It's not good for me. It's not good for you guys because you guys start getting bad content. And so we're going to have some fun. April Shaw said, have you made your import order yet? April, I have not. I'm actually going to do it tonight. It has to be done tonight because I have to pay for it tomorrow. And so I will be getting that in. So if there's some specific that you're looking for, send me an email and I will make sure to order it for you. Lucas Brett's in the house. Lucas Brett's is the man. He said something about, I don't know. He's talking about somebody breeding stuff. We got Sergeant Tanks in the house. Shout out to Jeremy. Jeremy, I'm pretty sure I told you this, but me and the wife did go out to eat for you with your super chat. Thank you so much. We went to Perkins and it was fun. It's just like a nice little sit down thing. But one thing I learned about Perkins, if you guys don't have a Perkins, beware. I got a waffle on the side, and it was just a simple waffle, and it was like $8.50. I was like, geez, man, I could have got 3 pancakes for like $2. So everyone's talking about that minnow trap. Menards carries them in store if you are in the U.S. Let's see what Kent Katz asked. Where do you find the lids for tanks like greenhouses, twin wall panels? Yeah, so Menards has them. You can get them at like Lowe's or Home Depot. They have variations of it. So you can find it at pretty much anywhere, any hardware store. Watching from the warehouse. Oh, Radical Reefs in the house. We got Ken in the house. Ken's over at the warehouse right now getting some work done. Hopefully he's sorting some tanks. We got a lot of tanks we got to sort out and get rid of. Aquatic Jack said, once I saw the Matin filters, Rob got me into the shrimping. That's awesome. The Matin filters. Guys, if you need a filter for an aquarium, I'm telling you, the cheapest and most effective filter you can get is a Matin filter. And I don't care if you buy it from me, if you get it on eBay, if you get it from Swiss Tropicals, wherever you want to get it. But I'm telling you, I probably have the best price. Probably. There might be somebody cheaper out there. But it is an awesome, awesome product. It's a very inexpensive filter. It lasts forever. Not forever, but it lasts a really long time. And it's very inexpensive to run. So absolutely love it. Rice Water, Daniel Kim. Shout out to Rice Water. He said, I finished my cereal box recommendations. So if you guys don't know, I love cereal. I eat cereal all the time. My new favorite cereal is it's like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it's like the generic version. It's so good. And the other one is what is it? Not Lucky Charms. Yeah, it is Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms, but the generic version. It is so good. So good. April Shaw said, thank you for all you and Amanda and Jeff do. Awesome service and shrimp. April dropping a $25 super chat. April, you're the bomb.com. April is not only like a very supportive person to the YouTube channel, she is also an amazing customer. So April Shaw is someone that we all know very, very well here at Flip Aquatics. And so April, thank you. You're the customers and fans and people like you that make what I do a reality. So thank you so much. And it's just a blessing to be able to do that. You guys know I say that all the time. I love doing what I do. I love how I do it. I love where I do it. I love who I do it with. And I love the people I can serve. And that's you guys. So just good things all around. So April Shaw, thank you so much. C-Town said, did your red cherries and Amanos pass quarantine yet? Wanting to place an order? Yes. Everything past quarantine. The Amanos, like, I swear, Amanos are bulletproof. If you want a shrimp that will not die, Amanos is the shrimp to get. If you can't keep Amanos alive, you cannot keep shrimp alive. Amanos are bulletproof. We got in a couple thousand, and they were like, I swear we didn't lose any. Like, they were that crazy. So they definitely passed quarantine. We're running low on cherry shrimp again, surprisingly. They just sold like hotcakes. And so, yep, I'm all caught up on everything, so that's a good thing. All right, so if you guys just tuned in, if you're just coming here for the first time, we are doing this Shrimp Saturday / Shrimp Sunday thing. So this week we did Crystal Reds and Crystal Blacks, and we also launched a Crystal Red starter pack and Crystal Black starter pack on the website that comes with like Indian almond leaves, food, a shrimp net, everything you need, and shrimp. And we are doing it 20% off this weekend. It actually goes through pretty much the rest of this week, at least until the beginning of the week. I don't know. I forget. But whatever. So if you're looking to get into crystal shrimp, feel free to check that video out. Discount code is down below. And we always appreciate the support. So thank you guys not only for being here, but for the support as well. We really do appreciate it. Jordan Leroy said, I've noticed a lot of fish keepers are into fishing too. Seems counterproductive / hypocritical. So so for us, like me, I love catching fish and stuff. And it's not because I like to like cook them and eat them. It's because I actually like to see them. Like the thrill of reeling them in and seeing what you got and looking at it. And like, I've never appreciated how pretty a sunfish is until I got into the aquarium hobby. And now it's just like, oh, this thing is gorgeous. And so I think a lot of us catch fish. We don't eat, like a lot of us don't eat them. A lot of us just catch them because we think they're beautiful. And we want to see them, and it's a thrill of catching them. And so same thing with all these traps. Like I want to catch stuff just to see what I can catch, just to see what's in the water. And instead of seeing what's in the aquariums around us, actually see what's like in the natural water. And that's the fun part. And so that's why I do it. And I really do enjoy it. Tropical Aquariums NZ said, we have native freshwater crayfish in New Zealand. They are protected and need a permit to keep them. That's crazy. We have freshwater crayfish as well. They're nothing pretty. I mean, there might be pretty ones around here somewhere, but most of them are like pretty ugly. And so I'll get some on video for you guys. Mark Morgan, shout out to you, dropping a $5 super chat. He said, hey, man, it's been awesome watching you, your website, and your channel grow from Youngstown. Hope to maybe meet you someday. So if you guys are in our area, what we're going to end up doing is it's too hard for us to meet everyone because I don't want to say a lot of people, but there's a couple people, probably 10 people throughout a month that want to come visit us. And our schedule is pretty hectic with shipping, with doing YouTube and everything like that. So I'm thinking about making like one day every month where we have like an open house. We'll have food. Anyone who wants to come visit and buy stuff can. If you just want to come visit and hang out, we'll shoot a video, have a good time. And it'd just be like once a month, we'll kind of do like a little meetup at our warehouse, and it would be a lot of fun. So that's what I was thinking about doing. So Mark, if you want to come stop up, I'll do some updates on that in the near future. But thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate everything you guys do for us. You guys have no idea how much you've done for me, and you guys think I've done a lot for you. So it's a good symbiotic relationship that we have. Daniel Kim said, fishing, especially if you have a fishing license, directly supports conservation of the lands that support the animals. Lots of funding comes from these recreational activities. That is a really good point. I've never really looked at it that way, but that's a great point. Let's see what else we got. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I did miss some super chats. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Roger Deadham says, freshwater shrimp and snails are illegal in Maine. I know, isn't that terrible? Like, I always wondered why I never got any orders from Maine, and it's because it's illegal there. So Maine's crazy. Hopefully you guys can get that legislator overturned at some point and get them. I'm sure somebody has snuck them in at some point or another, but that's crazy to think that. Chris Hibbs says, hi from Scotland. Your videos are always great. Have you ever kept saltwater shrimp? I've got some peppermint and cleaner shrimp in my reef. So first of all, thank you, Chris, for stopping in. Scotland is a beautiful, beautiful country that me and my wife both want to come visit at some point. And so yes, we actually do keep some saltwater shrimp. Ken, Radical Reeves, actually takes care of them, and it's his tank, his shrimp, everything like that. We just suggested that he buy the shrimp, to leave them in there so we can watch them. And so he has the peppermint shrimp, he has the cleaner shrimp, and he has fire shrimp, I think they're called, and they're all beautiful. So I love looking at them. Dang it, Rob made me want cereal. Fanatics, yeah. I think Amanda wants Chinese food tonight. That's what she was kind of leading towards. But Roger Deadman, thank you again for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. Jordan Leroy. Jordan, you always got all the questions. He said, I'm one of the weird fish-keeping fishermen. However, I give my catch to local pensioners a free, fresh dinner for them. That's a great way to be. I have nothing against people living off the land. That's the way that it was intended. There's nothing wrong with it now. And if anything, it takes away from the people that are butchering animals inhumanely. And this is a whole different conversation, so we're not going to go there. But I definitely think there's some good in it. And so I'm definitely not against hunting or fishing if you're doing it for eating or for catch and release or something like that. American crayfish are babies in the UK. They're invasive and are decimating the indigenous populations. That's terrible. Baddies in the UK. I believe that 100%. So I think the UK really shut things down for importing. I believe I read that. River Life. What's going on, River Life? Way to build community. Open house. Another fine example. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you for the super chat. And really, this is all about building a community. This is why we do it every single day. Just the love of it. B. St. John in the house. What's going on, Marcus? If you guys don't know B. St. John, it's actually Marcus Aurelius, who's the guy that got the tool stolen from him by the thief we had a long time ago. That we did a huge video on that. And so shout out to Marcus in the house. We were actually going to go fishing with him tonight, but we couldn't get a hold of him in time, and so it didn't work out, but we will go soon. Marcus, maybe we can do this stuff in your pond. That would be fun. You probably have crayfish in your pond, I'm guessing. Maybe. We'll figure it out. I'm excited now. River Life, thank you so much. Crawfish are illegal to keep in Washington. Yeah, crayfish are pretty much illegal to keep in America. It's crazy. Let's see what else we got. Danny said an open house is a great idea. Good to hear with that. Fanatic says, please help. How big are scuds? I've got tiny little dots in my tank on the glass, not seed shrimp, but not sure what they are. Really too tiny to identify. Seed shrimp scuds are pretty small, to be completely honest, and they will decimate your shrimp population. They won't kill the adults, more or less, but they will and can kill the babies, for sure. April Shaw's super chat is slowly taken away. So, again, thank you, April, for dropping such a huge super chat. You guys definitely help out with that. Really do appreciate all the love and support you guys show. All right, so I'm losing my voice. And I have no water. Dang it. That's all right. What else we got going on? We had so this is cool. So you guys remember how I did that 17,000 gallon aquarium / pond or whatever you want to call it. So I'm trying to set up another trip to go back there because that video, like, I mean, it's still going crazy. Like, I think it's at like 54,000 views and we posted it like less than a week ago. And so it's just going crazy. So I'm thinking about going back there and just having some fun hanging out with Tim and Luke and doing some more video of that room and maybe going swimming in the tank, going snorkeling. I'll take the camera in with me and it'd just be a lot of fun. So I was really thinking about that. Sneezanza K said, Rob, I was wondering what you will do if you catch something unexpected in your traps, something scary you've never seen before. Who picks it out of the trap? So I always got to be the one that picks it out of the trap. Amanda's pretty crazy, so she might pick it out of the trap, but you never know. But I'm really excited. I want to catch some crazy things. If you guys just tuned in, what we're talking about is I went to Gander Mountain. I bought this crayfish trap, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. And then thrift store shopping, I dropped the thing again. Thrift store shopping, I got this puppy, which is like a glass jug that has a bottom drilled out of it. It has holes drilled in the top, like super cool. Apparently, I'm a danger to myself. Keep dropping things. There we go. Jordan Leroy said, sorry for the spam, just engaged and love your streams. Jordan, be as engaged as possible. I love it. I love the questions. And so if you're asking them, that's great. It gives me something to talk about. It's always good to lead the conversation. And so always good about that. Anyone got any aquatic themed tattoos? I always joke about I want to get a tattoo of a shrimp on my arm where my muscle is, and then when I flex, I want it to molt. So, I don't know how it's possible, but if there is a way to have holographic tattoos and I could flex and the shrimp would molt, that would just be the coolest thing ever. So we'll see about that. Ooh. Oh man, you guys got me yawning again. This is what happens when we talk shrimp. No, it actually gets me all fired up. April Shaw says, it looks like one of my red fancy tigers is buried. That's so awesome. So April, when you have babies, you have to send me pictures because I want to look to see what the babies turn out to be, because those red fancy tigers are so cool, and you get so many different patterns with them. So I'm working to bring in some really, really nice ones this time around for the import order. So we'll see what happens. Really excited about it. Mark said there are crays and minnows and big bass that are scared of Amanda. Yeah, so you got a lot of stuff in your pond. So we will have to set these traps up and try to catch some stuff. I'm very excited about that. Vodox says, finally catching this live. Good to have you here. Always good to hang out and be a part of the streams. My brother will probably be here soon. But let's answer a few more questions. Let's see. MDIFW regulates the importation of shrimp into the state of Maine. Shrimp are not listed on the unrestricted species list, so they are not allowed to be imported into the state of Maine without permits. Okay, so if you have permits, you could get them. That's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah. All right. Let's find a good one. Fanatic says, love you and your channel, man. Can't wait to find out if my shrimp gets shipped tomorrow or next week. Probably not going to move from my front door until the package arrives. So that's awesome. So Fanatic is really excited. That's so cool. I love it. All right. So what else we want to talk about, guys? Tori Cook asked, is crushed coral enough to bring up the KH from my tap, which is basically RO water, 22 TDS, 68 pH for cherries. So crushed coral will definitely help. It will bring up your GH. I'm not sure how much it will bring up your KH, but I know it will some. Trial and error. I would put some in there, see what happens. And worst case scenario, it doesn't work. Lars K dropping a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Lars. Please put a comment in there so we can read it. I always like having a comment that I can respond back to when you guys do a super chat. But I appreciate it the same either way. Thank you so much for doing that. Rice Water says, will you get a female or male shrimp tattoo, and what type of shrimp? I'd probably get a female tattoo of a shrimp, just because They're bigger, they have better color, and usually they're better. The males are usually pretty ugly, which I'm sure a lot of us are saying, yep, that's how it is in real life too. It just depends. Jordan Leroy said, Rob, that's amazing. Or that's amazing. That would be amazing. I'm booked in for an octopus tattoo wrapping around my lower leg. That's also a photo of my frog tattoo on here. Oh, that's funny. You do have a frog tattoo. I never realized that. April did say she'd send us some pictures of the red fancy tigers when she gets them. She did a video on them in the Taiwan bees already. I got to check those out, April. Thank you for doing the videos. Mackenzie Ferguson in the house. Just wanted to make sure you got my email last week. Reapply orange sucre issues. Want to make sure it didn't get lost anywhere. So I probably did get it. And if I didn't, I'll just make sure right now. That's the best way to do it. It's always better to do it in a moment so you don't forget. Let me type in Mackenzie. There we go. So, yes, I did get your email. Dang, Mackenzie, you sent a lot of emails. I'll have to read this in a little bit. I will get back to you. Promise you that. Now I got to pull it up. So I definitely will get back to you. But anyway, moving on. Who is excited for Game of Thrones tonight? Guys, I look forward to Sunday so much because Game of Thrones, it sucks that it's only 7 episodes. We're 5 in, I think. Oh, man. It's sad. It sounds like we have like 2 or 3 weeks left. But anyway. Jimmy of Aquarium Co-op says, Corey's sleeping on the hammock. I have the speakers on. Can you wake him up? LOL. Corey, wake up. It is crazy. It's weird now. Jimmy and Corey of Aquarium Co-op stream at 3 o'clock my time now, which they used to stream at 8 o'clock. So they used to go after us. I think Bob Steamfog goes after us now. I'm not really sure. But, yeah, so they stream before, so it kind of throws me all kinds of off. But it all works out. King Lee said, do you feed red fancy tiger Shrimp King protein, and is it okay for the fancy red tiger baby? So I feed the red fancy tigers. We feed them Shrimp King protein. We actually feed them the mineral, the protein, the complete, and Bacteria E pretty regularly. Every once in a while, we'll give them the beta glucan, but they're pretty well established now, so we don't really do much with the beta glucan because that's pretty much just for geez. Man, that was the longest one ever. That's just for really boosting their immune system. But we do feed them the protein. It is good for the babies. I mean, it wouldn't be bad for the babies. You think of like puppy chow for dogs or any kind of puppy food. It's just really high in protein to get them growing quicker. So I would say protein, if anything, it will help the babies more. A great question. $5 super chat from Fa X. Says, my fancy blues, black rose, and the mono shrimp I bought for my birthday today are all doing awesome. Thank you, Rob. They are gorgeous. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for the support and for the feedback. You guys are awesome. We got Aquarium Co-op Corey. He's actually listening from the hammock. He's not sleeping. So now we know the truth. But, yeah, Jimmy and Corey have been doing a great job over at Aquarium Co-op. Definitely got to show them love there. Aquatic Jack said, winter is coming. King Lee says, winter is here. That is true. Winter is here. And then we got Snezenza. I think I say that wrong every time. Says, Game of Thrones, high five. Fish Tanks and Fishing says, I hate Game of Thrones. Well, that is just too bad, too sad because I'm so addicted. It is awesome. Like, I'm listening to the books right now on audio tape, and it is so entertaining. I love it. But it is what it is. But let's see what else we got. My brother will be here in 4 minutes. What vegetable would you do? Bojo4 says, what vegetable would you do? Probably not talking to me, but if I had to feed a vegetable to shrimp, I would probably feed, I don't even know. Spinach isn't considered a vegetable, I don't think. I'd probably feed carrot just because I don't even know. Whatever. I think carrot's good, or zucchini, something like that. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. But I think dandelion is an undervalued one that a lot of people can feed. A lot of us have dandelions in our yard, and you can feed those to your aquariums. I think you just let the dandelion dry for a little bit. I've never fed wild ones, so I'd have to look up how to do it. But dandelions are awesome for shrimp. They love them too. So dandelions is a good one. NC Fishman says, what time does your stream start, Corey? Corey's stream started, what was it, about 4.5 hours ago? So it's earlier today. He does it more earlier because I think it's because of Game of Thrones and stuff like that. There's just too much competition. Corey was scared of Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. No, I think he did switch over for some reason, but I don't want to say it was because he was scared. Because if I say that, then he'll switch his live stream time until 6:30, and he'll decimate me. So hoping he doesn't do that. By the way, me and Corey are really good friends, and Jimmy and everybody steam fought, so we all get along good. So it's good to razz everyone a little bit, give them a little shoulder in the gut, or a little elbow to the gut. But yeah, so Ken Katz asked a question: do you have blue to tune rabbit snails for snails? Not sure what you meant there, but I do have blue rabbit snails. They're on the website. I don't know if we have any more available. We're going to be getting another order in, and they're awesome. They're super hardy. They're one of the hardiest rabbit snails we've got in, and they're beautiful. They're just expensive. That's the only thing. Price is a pain in the butt. But my brother will be here soon. Before I close, guys, don't forget I do have that special going for the Crystal Reds and Crystal Blacks, 20% off. Crystal 20 is the discount code at flipaquatics.com. Feel free to check it out, but no pressure, no pressure. Only if you want Crystal Reds or Blacks. And that discount, all the stuff's down below, the link and everything. You guys can check out our new website, see what's going on there. We're getting ready to add some new products, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of big changes coming soon. Super fun to be a part of it. And definitely don't forget to check out the Crystal Red and Crystal Black breeding video. That was a fun one to make, and I really enjoyed doing that. So let me know your feedback on that in the comments of that video, and I'll look forward to reading those comments. So you guys make it a great weekend, great rest of your weekend. Have a good start to your week tomorrow on Monday. Boo, but we all got to be there, and I got a ton of shrimp to ship out, so that's what I'm going to be working on tomorrow. Thank God I have Amanda and Jeff to help me. And so, yep. What is a good snail for a shrimp tank? April Shy asked. Malaysian trumpet snails, rabbit snails, mystery snails. Don't do ram's horn snails. They breed like crazy. What's up, Amanda? You need something? My wife, she's so pretty. Oh, lucky guy. Oh my gosh. She said if you see something pop up on your email, it's because she bought something. Great. That's funny. It's a fishing lure. I told you she's addicted. But yeah, so like Jimmy said, Aquarium Club, hit that like button before you leave. Thank you guys for being here for the stream. Much love from me, Amanda, Jeff, the whole team over here at Flip Aquatics. We love you guys. We appreciate you. You guys make it a great rest of your weekend and good start to your week next week. And we'll talk with you guys soon. Later, guys.